Our story begins in 1903, in the bustling city of Shreveport, Louisiana. At the dawn of the 20th century, Shreveport was a city alive with the promise of progress. The streets echoed with the clatter of horse-drawn carriages and the lively chatter of townsfolk as the city's riverfront bustled with commerce and the hum of new ideas. It was here, amid the red brick buildings and the ever-present scent of magnolia blossoms, that a remarkable journey was about to begin. Amidst the excitement of a burgeoning industrial age, a future titan of science was born, Philip McCord Morse. His arrival was quiet, yet the world he entered was anything but. The early 1900s were a time of transformation, with electricity beginning to light up homes and the first automobiles rattling down dusty roads. For the Morse family, the birth of Philip marked the beginning of a new chapter, one that would eventually touch the lives of countless people across the globe. From a young age, Morse displayed an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, devouring books on mathematics, physics, and astronomy. While other children played in the dusty streets, Philip could often be found with his nose buried in a book, his imagination soaring far beyond the boundaries of his small hometown. He was captivated by the mysteries of the universe, spending hours pondering the nature of light, the movement of planets, and the invisible forces that shaped the world around him. His sharp mind and insatiable curiosity set the stage for a life dedicated to solving complex problems and pushing the boundaries of human understanding. Even as a boy, Morse was known for asking questions that stumped his teachers and for his relentless pursuit of answers. He would stay up late into the night, scribbling equations in the margins of his notebooks, driven by a desire to uncover the secrets of the universe. This early passion for learning would become the foundation upon which his extraordinary career was built. Morse's academic journey led him to the prestigious halls of the California Institute of Technology, a beacon for bright minds and ambitious dreamers. There, surrounded by some of the greatest scientific thinkers of the era, he excelled in his studies, earning his bachelor's degree in physics in 1926. The rigorous environment at Caltech challenged him to think critically and creatively, and he quickly distinguished himself as a student of exceptional promise. His professors recognized his talent, encouraging him to pursue research that would stretch the limits of contemporary science. Driven by a passion for unraveling the mysteries of the universe, he continued his education at Princeton University, where he delved into the burgeoning field of quantum mechanics, earning his PhD in 1929. At Princeton, Morse found himself at the epicenter of a scientific revolution. The world of physics was being transformed by new theories and discoveries, and Morse eagerly immersed himself in this dynamic environment. He worked alongside pioneering scientists, engaging in spirited debates and late-night discussions that would shape the course of his intellectual development. Little did he know that his expertise in this abstract realm of science would one day prove instrumental in tackling real-world challenges of unprecedented scale. The mathematical tools and theoretical insights he gained during these formative years would become the bedrock of his future work, enabling him to approach problems from unique and innovative perspectives. Morse's time at Princeton was not just about mastering equations. It was about learning to see the world through the lens of possibility, where every challenge was an opportunity for discovery. After completing his doctorate, Morse embarked on a career in academia, joining the faculty of MIT's physics department in 1931. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology was a hub of innovation, and Morse quickly found himself at home among fellow visionaries. As a young professor, he was both a mentor and a student, constantly learning from his colleagues and inspiring his students to think boldly. His lectures were renowned for their clarity and depth, and he became a beloved figure on campus, known for his approachable demeanor and infectious enthusiasm for science. At MIT, he quickly established himself as a brilliant theorist and skilled experimentalist, making significant contributions to the understanding of acoustics, optics, and wave propagation. Morse's research was characterized by a rare blend of mathematical rigor and practical ingenuity. He was fascinated by the ways in which sound and light traveled through different materials, and his experiments often pushed the limits of available technology. His colleagues marveled at his ability to translate complex theories into tangible results, and his work soon attracted the attention of scientists and engineers far beyond the walls of MIT. His work on the scattering of sound waves, for instance, would later prove invaluable in the development of sonar technology, a crucial tool in anti-submarine warfare. As the world edged closer to the turmoil of World War II, Morse's research took on new urgency. The ability to detect enemy submarines beneath the waves became a matter of national security, and Morse's insights into the behavior of sound in water laid the groundwork for innovations that would save countless lives. His contributions to sonar technology were a testament to his belief that science could and should serve the greater good. Morse's early research not only advanced scientific knowledge, but also foreshadowed his ability to bridge the gap between theoretical concepts and practical applications, a hallmark of his future success in operations research. He was a scientist who saw beyond the confines of the laboratory, always searching for ways to apply his discoveries to real-world problems. This unique perspective would later position him at the forefront of a new discipline, one that would revolutionize the way complex decisions were made in both military and civilian life. The seeds of Morse's visionary approach were sown in these early years, as he laid the foundation for a legacy that would endure for generations to come. Our journey now takes us from the battlefields of World War II to the hallowed halls of academia, where a young mathematician named George Bernard Dantzig would change the course of operations research forever. Born in 1914, Dantzig's life was intertwined with numbers from the very beginning. His father, Tobias Dantzig, was a renowned mathematician and author who had studied with Henri Poincaré, one of the most influential mathematicians of all time. His mother, Anja Urasun, was a linguist who instilled in him a love for languages and a deep appreciation for the power of communication. Dantzig's early education was a testament to his parents' belief in the importance of a well-rounded education. He excelled in mathematics and science, but he also developed a passion for literature, history, and philosophy. This broad intellectual foundation would later serve him well as he tackled complex problems that required not only mathematical prowess but also a deep understanding of the human condition. After completing high school, Dantzig enrolled at the University of Maryland, where he earned his bachelor's degree in mathematics and physics in 1936. He then went on to pursue graduate studies in mathematics at the University of Michigan, where he was particularly drawn to the field of statistics. Dantzig's interest in statistics was not merely theoretical. He was fascinated by the practical applications of statistics in solving real-world problems, a fascination that would ultimately lead him to the field of operations research. Sometimes the most pivotal moments in a person's life arrive not with fanfare, but quietly, almost by accident. For George Dantzig, the mathematician who would go on to revolutionize operations research and optimization, his journey was forever altered by a simple twist of fate, a missed class that would become the stuff of academic legend. This is the story of how a single, seemingly inconsequential event set the stage for a lifetime of groundbreaking achievement, and how destiny sometimes waits for us in the most unexpected places. In the autumn of 1939, the world was on the brink of great change, and so was Dantzig. As a doctoral student at the University of California, Berkeley, he was immersed in the rigorous world of mathematics and statistics. On one particular day, Dantzig found himself running late to a statistics class taught by the eminent Jerzy Neyman, a towering figure in the field whose lectures were both revered and feared by students. When Dantzig finally slipped into the classroom, he tried to blend in quietly, hoping not to draw attention to his tardiness. On the blackboard, he noticed two mathematical problems written in Neyman's precise hand. Assuming these were the homework assignments for the week, he dutifully copied them into his notebook, determined to make up for lost time. What Dantzig didn't realize was that these weren't ordinary homework problems. In fact, Neyman had presented them as examples of unsolved problems in statistics, problems that had stumped even the brightest minds in the field. But, unaware of their reputation, Dantzig approached them with the same diligence and curiosity he brought to all his assignments. Over the next several days, Dantzig pored over the problems. He found them challenging, certainly more difficult than anything he had encountered before, but not impossible. He worked late into the night, filling pages with calculations, erasing and rewriting, driven by a quiet determination to find a solution. The problems became a puzzle he couldn't let go of, a test not just of his mathematical skill, but of his perseverance and creativity. As the days passed, Dantzig's apartment became a landscape of scattered papers and chalk-dusted blackboards. He consulted textbooks, reviewed lecture notes, and even discussed general concepts with classmates, though he never mentioned the specific problems, believing them to be standard assignments. The process was grueling, but Dantzig relished the challenge, feeling himself grow as a mathematician with every attempt. Finally, after days of intense effort, Dantzig arrived at solutions he felt confident in. He neatly wrote up his answers and submitted them to Professor Neyman, expecting little more than a grade and perhaps a comment or two. What happened next would change the course of his life. When Neyman reviewed Dantzig's work, he was stunned. The problems, which had been considered unsolvable, had been cracked, and not just solved but solved with elegance and clarity. Neyman could hardly believe what he was seeing. He summoned Dantzig to his office, eager to discuss the solutions and to understand how a student working alone had managed to achieve what so many experts had failed to do. During their meeting, Neyman's astonishment quickly turned to admiration. He questioned Dantzig about his methods, probing for insight into his thought process. Dantzig, for his part, was equally surprised to learn the true nature of the problems he had solved. The realization that he had tackled unsolved problems, without the burden of knowing they were considered impossible, was both humbling and exhilarating. Neyman, recognizing the significance of Dantzig's achievement, urged him to write up his solutions for publication. At first, Dantzig hesitated, unsure if his work was truly worthy of such attention, but with Neyman's encouragement, he prepared his findings for submission to a leading academic journal. This act would mark the beginning of Dantzig's ascent in the world of mathematics. One of the problems Dantzig solved would later become known as the Neyman-Pearson lemma, a cornerstone of statistical hypothesis testing. This result would go on to influence generations of statisticians and researchers, forming the foundation for much of modern statistical theory. Dantzig's name, once that of an unknown graduate student, was now associated with a fundamental breakthrough. The publication of his solutions brought Dantzig recognition far beyond the walls of Berkeley. Scholars from around the world took notice, and his reputation as a brilliant and original thinker began to grow. Yet for Dantzig, the experience was more than just a professional triumph. It was a lesson in the power of perspective, and the importance of approaching problems with an open mind. Looking back, Dantzig would often reflect on how his ignorance of the problem's supposed impossibility had been a blessing in disguise. Unburdened by the weight of expectation, he had been free to explore, to experiment, and to persist where others might have given up. This experience shaped his approach to mathematics and research for the rest of his career, reminding him that sometimes not knowing the odds can be the greatest advantage of all. The story of Dantzig's missed class became a legend in academic circles, retold to inspire students and researchers facing their own daunting challenges. It served as a powerful reminder that breakthroughs often come from unexpected places, and that perseverance, creativity, and a willingness to tackle the unknown are the true hallmarks of genius. For Dantzig, the incident not only solidified his reputation as a rising star in statistics, but also instilled in him a quiet confidence, a belief that with enough determination, even the most formidable problems could be overcome. This newfound self-assurance would serve him well as he embarked on a career filled with even greater challenges and achievements. In the years that followed, Dantzig would go on to make monumental contributions to mathematics, most notably the development of the simplex algorithm, which transformed the field of linear programming and had far-reaching impacts on economics, engineering, and beyond. But it was this early encounter with destiny, a missed class, a pair of unsolved problems, and a professor's astonished praise, that set him on his path. Today, the tale of George Dantzig's serendipitous discovery continues to inspire mathematicians, scientists, and dreamers everywhere. It stands as a testament to the power of perseverance, the value of curiosity, and the magic that can happen when preparation meets opportunity. In the end, Dantzig's story reminds us all that sometimes the greatest breakthroughs begin with a simple act of showing up, even if we're a little late. The impact of the simplex algorithm on the field of operations research and indeed on the world at large really cannot be overstated. It was a watershed moment, ushering in a new era of optimization and efficiency. What was once a theoretical concept confined to the realm of mathematics became a practical tool for solving real-world problems across industries. The simplex algorithm quickly found applications in a wide range of fields, including transportation, manufacturing, finance, and agriculture. Companies used it to optimize their production schedules, minimize transportation costs, and maximize profits. Governments used it to plan infrastructure projects, allocate resources efficiently, and improve public services. The simplex algorithm's impact extended far beyond its immediate applications. It spurred further research and development in the field of optimization, leading to the development of more sophisticated algorithms and software packages that could handle even more complex problems. It also paved the way for the development of new fields, such as convex optimization and integer programming, which built upon the foundations laid by Dantzig's work. The simplex algorithm's legacy is one of transformative change. It revolutionized the way we solve problems, enabling us to make better decisions, optimize resources, and achieve greater efficiency in countless aspects of our lives. It stands as a testament to the power of mathematics to transform the world around us. Our story now takes us from the bustling factories of Leningrad to the serene canals of Amsterdam, following the parallel journeys of two brilliant minds who would independently revolutionize the field of economics, Leonid Vitalyevich Kantorovich and Tjalling Charles Koopmans. Though separated by geography, ideology, and the tumultuous events of the 20th century, their paths would converge in a shared recognition of the power of mathematics to solve complex economic problems. Kantorovich, born in Russia in 1912, emerged as a mathematical prodigy amidst the upheaval of the Russian Revolution. His early work, deeply rooted in the practical challenges facing the Soviet Union's planned economy, would lay the foundation for linear programming, a powerful tool for optimizing resource allocation. Koopmans, born in the Netherlands in 1910, brought a keen economic intuition to his mathematical explorations, developing sophisticated models for transportation and resource allocation that transcended national boundaries. Despite their disparate backgrounds, Kantorovich and Koopmans shared a common belief in the power of rigorous analysis to illuminate economic complexities. Both recognized that the traditional tools of economics, often reliant on intuition and qualitative reasoning, were insufficient to address the challenges of a rapidly changing world. They envisioned a new kind of economics, one grounded in mathematical precision and capable of providing concrete solutions to real-world problems. In 1939, at the age of 27, Kantorovich was presented with a problem that would change the course of his career and lay the foundation for his groundbreaking work in linear programming. The Leningrad Plywood Trust, a state-owned enterprise, tasked him with finding a way to optimize the production of plywood, a crucial material for the Soviet construction industry. Faced with a complex problem involving multiple production stages, varying qualities of raw materials, and limited production capacity, Kantorovich realized that traditional methods of optimization were insufficient. He developed a new mathematical approach, which he called the method of resolving multipliers, to solve the problem. This method, later recognized as a form of linear programming, involved expressing the production problem as a set of linear equations and inequalities, and then using mathematical techniques to find the optimal solution that maximized output while satisfying all constraints. Kantorovich's solution to the plywood production problem was a revelation. It demonstrated that mathematical optimization techniques could be applied to real-world economic problems, offering the potential for significant improvements in efficiency and resource allocation. His work, however, was met with skepticism by some Soviet economists, who viewed his mathematical approach as too abstract and detached from the realities of the Soviet economy. While Kantorovich was grappling with the challenges of a centrally planned economy in the Soviet Union, Tjalling Koopmans, on the other side of Europe, was developing his own unique perspective on economic optimization. Born in Graveland, Netherlands in 1910, Koopmans' early life was marked by the uncertainties of the interwar period. Koopmans' interest in economics stemmed from a deep desire to understand the forces shaping the world around him. He studied mathematics and physics at the University of Utrecht, earning his doctorate in 1936. However, the turbulent economic conditions of the 1930s, marked by the Great Depression and the rise of fascism, led him to shift his focus to economics. In 1936, Koopmans joined the League of Nations, where he worked as an economic statistician, analyzing international trade data and studying the economic impacts of the war. His work at the League of Nations exposed him to a wide range of economic perspectives and solidified his belief in the importance of international cooperation and the need for rigorous economic analysis to inform policy decisions. As we've journeyed through the lives and contributions of operations research pioneers like Morse, Dantzig, Kantorovich, and Koopmans, we've witnessed the power of mathematical optimization in solving complex problems. But what happens when the problems we face are not merely complex, but also interconnected, dynamic, and constantly evolving? What happens when the very act of solving one problem creates ripples that affect other parts of the system, sometimes with unintended consequences? This is where the groundbreaking work of Russell L. Ackoff and Stafford Beer comes into play. These two visionary thinkers, though coming from different backgrounds and pursuing distinct paths, converged on a shared belief. To truly understand and solve complex problems, we must move beyond the reductionist approach of traditional operations research and embrace a holistic perspective that recognizes the interconnectedness of systems. Ackoff, a renowned management guru and professor emeritus at the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, challenged the prevailing wisdom of his time, arguing that businesses and organizations were not merely machines to be optimized, but complex, adaptive systems composed of interconnected human beings. Beer, a British cybernetician and management consultant, brought his expertise in systems theory and cybernetics to bear on the challenges of organizational design and management, developing innovative models for creating organizations capable of adapting to change and thriving in complex environments. Russell L. Ackoff, born in Philadelphia in 1919, was a man who defied easy categorization. He was a philosopher, a statistician, an architect, and above all, a relentless advocate for a more holistic and humanistic approach to management. His career, marked by intellectual brilliance, iconoclastic views, and a wicked sense of humor, left an indelible mark on the fields of operations research, systems thinking, and management science. Ackoff's journey began at the University of Pennsylvania, where he earned a degree in architecture in 1941. However, his architectural aspirations were soon eclipsed by a growing fascination with philosophy and mathematics. He went on to earn a master's degree in philosophy of science from the University of Pennsylvania in 1947, and a doctorate in the same field from the University of Lancaster in 1949. It was during his time as a doctoral student that Ackoff first encountered the emerging field of operations research. Intrigued by the potential of applying mathematical and statistical methods to solve real-world problems, he joined the newly formed Operations Research Group at Case Institute of Technology in 1951. It was here that he began to develop his own unique perspective on the field, one that emphasized the importance of understanding the social and behavioral aspects of systems, rather than simply focusing on their technical dimensions. Ackoff's background in architecture, though seemingly unrelated to operations research, proved to be a valuable asset. Architecture at its core is about designing spaces that meet human needs and aspirations, and that's a perspective Ackoff brought to his work in operations research. He recognized that the success of any system, whether a factory, a hospital, or a city, depended not just on its technical efficiency, but also on its ability to serve the needs of the people within it. This humanistic perspective really set Ackoff apart from many of his contemporaries in the field. While others focused on optimizing systems for maximum output or efficiency, Ackoff argued that the ultimate goal should be to design systems that enhance the well-being of all stakeholders. He believed that true optimization involved not just finding the best solution to a given problem, but rather redefining the problem itself, seeking solutions that addressed the underlying causes of problems, not just their symptoms. Ackoff's unconventional thinking and his willingness to challenge the status quo did not always endear him to his colleagues in the often conservative world of academia. However, his ideas resonated with a growing number of students and practitioners who were seeking a more holistic and humanistic approach to management. Central to Ackoff's philosophy was the concept of messes. He argued that the problems facing organizations and societies were not isolated, well-defined problems, but rather interconnected, complex messes characterized by uncertainty, ambiguity, and conflicting goals. These messes, he believed, could not be solved by simply applying traditional problem-solving techniques. They required a different approach, one that embraced complexity, sought to understand the interconnectedness of systems, and focused on creating a desirable future, rather than simply fixing the problems of the past. Ackoff's approach to dealing with messes involved a shift in perspective, from a reductionist, analytical mindset to a holistic, synthetic one. He argued that we must learn to see the whole system, not just its parts, and to understand the relationships between those parts. He also emphasized the importance of involving all stakeholders in the problem-solving process, recognizing that different perspectives and insights were essential for developing truly effective solutions. Ackoff's ideas about messes and their resolution had a profound impact on the field of management, challenging managers to think differently about the problems they faced and the solutions they sought. He encouraged them to embrace complexity, to involve stakeholders, and to focus on creating a shared vision of a desirable future. Our journey through the annals of operations research now leads us to a figure whose contributions continue to resonate profoundly across diverse fields: William W. Cooper. Born in 1914, Cooper's legacy is intricately woven with the concept of efficiency, a pursuit that led him to develop a revolutionary tool for measuring and improving performance in organizations and systems worldwide. Unlike some of his contemporaries who delved into the theoretical realms of mathematics, Cooper's work was deeply rooted in the practical challenges facing real-world organizations. His journey began not in the hallowed halls of academia, but in the gritty reality of the coal mines, where he witnessed firsthand the inefficiencies and disparities that plagued industries struggling to optimize their operations. Cooper's insatiable curiosity and his unwavering belief in the power of data to illuminate solutions led him to the field of operations research, where he found fertile ground for his innovative ideas. His groundbreaking work on data envelopment analysis, or DEA, revolutionized the way we measure and understand efficiency, providing a powerful tool for organizations seeking to benchmark their performance, identify areas for improvement, and ultimately, achieve greater productivity and impact. After completing high school, Cooper's thirst for knowledge led him to the University of Chicago, where he pursued a degree in economics. However, his studies were interrupted by the outbreak of World War II. Eager to serve his country, Cooper enlisted in the United States Army Air Forces, where he put his analytical skills to use as a navigator and bombardier. Following the war, Cooper returned to the University of Chicago, determined to complete his education and pursue a career that would allow him to make a tangible difference in the world. He was particularly drawn to the emerging field of operations research, which promised to apply the rigor of mathematics and statistics to solve real-world problems in business, government, and industry. At the time, there was a growing recognition of the importance of efficiency in organizational performance, but existing methods for measuring efficiency were often inadequate, especially when dealing with complex organizations with multiple inputs and outputs. Traditional approaches to efficiency measurement relied on comparing the performance of different units or organizations using a single, often arbitrary metric. This approach, Cooper argued, was flawed because it failed to account for the different contexts, resources, and objectives of the units being compared. It was like comparing apples and oranges, leading to misleading and, honestly, often unfair assessments of performance. To address these limitations, Cooper, along with his colleague Abraham Charnes, developed a groundbreaking new approach: data envelopment analysis, or DEA. DEA is a non-parametric method for measuring the relative efficiency of a set of decision-making units that use multiple inputs to produce multiple outputs. In essence, DEA creates a virtual efficiency frontier based on the best-performing units and then measures the distance of each unit from that frontier, providing a more comprehensive and nuanced assessment of relative efficiency. The impact of data envelopment analysis, or DEA, on the field of operations research and beyond has been nothing short of transformative. DEA's ability to handle multiple inputs and outputs, its non-parametric nature, which makes no assumptions about the underlying functional form of the production process, and its ability to identify sources of inefficiency and suggest potential improvements, have made it an invaluable tool for organizations across a wide range of sectors. DEA has been applied to measure and improve efficiency in healthcare, education, banking, manufacturing, transportation, agriculture, and government, among other fields. Hospitals have used DEA to benchmark the performance of different departments, identify best practices, and improve patient outcomes. Schools have used DEA to assess the efficiency of different teaching methods, allocate resources more effectively, and enhance student learning. Banks have used DEA to evaluate the performance of branches, optimize lending practices, and manage risk. The power of DEA lies not only in its ability to measure efficiency, but also in its ability to provide insights into why some units are more efficient than others. By identifying the sources of inefficiency, DEA can help organizations develop targeted interventions and strategies for improvement. For example, a hospital might discover that its emergency department is less efficient than others due to longer patient wait times. DEA can then help identify the factors contributing to these longer wait times, such as staffing levels, bed availability, or triage processes, allowing the hospital to implement targeted solutions to improve efficiency and patient care. The legacy of these operations research pioneers extends far beyond their individual accomplishments. They didn't just solve problems, they created a new way of thinking, a framework for approaching complex challenges with rigor, creativity, and a deep commitment to making a positive impact on the world. Their work has left an indelible mark on countless industries, transforming the way we manage resources, design systems, make decisions, and ultimately, live our lives. Think about the seamless efficiency of modern logistics networks, the intricate dance of airplanes navigating global airspace, the optimized production lines humming in factories around the world, the sophisticated algorithms guiding financial markets, the data-driven insights informing healthcare decisions, and the intricate models predicting and mitigating the impacts of climate change. Behind each of these achievements, you'll find the invisible hand of operations research, silently shaping our world and improving our lives. But the true legacy of these pioneers lies not just in the tangible outcomes of their work, but in the enduring spirit of inquiry, collaboration, and problem-solving they embodied. They remind us that the most complex challenges often yield to the power of human ingenuity, that collaboration across disciplines can spark unexpected breakthroughs, and that even seemingly insurmountable problems can be overcome with perseverance, creativity, and a healthy dose of mathematical rigor. Today, operations research operates as an often unseen force shaping our world, quietly optimizing systems, improving efficiency, and driving innovation across a multitude of domains. From the moment we wake up to the time we lay our heads down at night, our lives are touched by the invisible hand of operations research, often without us even realizing it. Consider the seemingly simple act of ordering a product online. Behind the scenes, a sophisticated symphony of operations research is orchestrating the entire process. Algorithms are optimizing inventory management, predicting demand, and determining the most efficient routes for delivery trucks to navigate bustling city streets and winding rural roads, ensuring that your package arrives on your doorstep in the shortest possible time. Or imagine a team of doctors in a hospital, working tirelessly to save a patient's life. They're guided by data-driven insights derived from operations research models, informing their diagnoses, treatment plans, and resource allocation decisions. These models, analyzing vast amounts of patient data, help doctors identify patterns, predict outcomes, and make life-saving decisions with greater speed and accuracy. Operations research, with its arsenal of analytical tools, optimization techniques, and systems thinking frameworks, provides a beacon of clarity amidst the data deluge. It equips us with the ability to cut through the noise, identify patterns, and make sense of complexity. It empowers us to transform raw data into actionable insights, guiding us towards better decisions, more efficient operations, and ultimately, a more sustainable and equitable future. Operations research, with its focus on systems thinking, data-driven decision-making, and interdisciplinary collaboration, is uniquely positioned to play a crucial role in addressing today's challenges. The future of operations research is bright, fueled by the ever-increasing availability of data, the rapid advancements in computing power, and the growing awareness of the field's potential to address complex challenges. As we enter an era defined by artificial intelligence, machine learning, and big data analytics, operations research stands poised to play an even more pivotal role in shaping our world. Imagine a future where algorithms optimize traffic flow in real time, reducing congestion and emissions, where personalized medicine tailors treatments to individual patients, improving outcomes and reducing healthcare costs, where smart grids balance energy supply and demand, maximizing efficiency and minimizing our reliance on fossil fuels, and where predictive models anticipate and mitigate natural disasters, saving lives and protecting communities. This is not science fiction. It's the future that operations research is helping to create. It's a future where the power of human ingenuity, combined with the transformative potential of data and technology, can unlock solutions to our most pressing challenges and create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. As we conclude our journey, let us raise a toast to the titans of operations research, the pioneers who dared to dream of a better world, and then used the power of their minds to make that dream a reality. They've left us with a legacy of innovation, a toolkit for tackling complexity, and a profound belief in the power of human ingenuity to shape a better future. Their stories remind us that the most complex problems often yield to the power of analytical thinking, that collaboration across disciplines can spark unexpected breakthroughs, and that even seemingly insurmountable challenges can be overcome with perseverance, creativity, and a healthy dose of mathematical rigor. Let their stories inspire us to embrace the power of analytical thinking, to seek out challenges, and to never stop asking, how can we make things better? For it is in the pursuit of a more optimal, efficient, and equitable world that the true legacy of operations research will continue to unfold, shaping a brighter future for generations to come.